Do you love yourself? I mean, really love yourself. And is it okay to love yourself? Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Ryder from Michelle's Purple Moments. Michelle's Purple Moments is a channel where we explore things like gratitude and small ways to increase the quality of our lives by connecting with topics like self love that we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to tell you right off that didn't always really love myself. I sort of grew up thinking that self love was selfish, but today that's not true. I'm wearing a favorite sweatshirt, another favorite sweatshirt. This is a little nice thing that I purchased for myself recently. Actually, a friend who was at a fall festival picked it up for me, but as soon as she sent the picture of it and said, "Here's a sweatshirt I think you'll like," I said, "Absolutely, I love it. It's the colors I love. I want it." And so I told her to pick it up, paid her for it, and I don't regret it for an instant. So I do little things for myself now that maybe I once wouldn't have done. I remember a chapter in my life where I wore a pair of tennis shoes until they had holes in the bottoms of the soles, and I don't do that anymore. Um, I have a mug, another one of my favorite mugs today. Love you to the moon and back. This was a gift from my grandson, and I just love this mug. It's something that I use most days because it just makes me feel connected to him, and I feel so loved when I use this mug. I also have a little card here that he gave me. It's the same thing, love you to the moon and back. That's a favorite phrase that we have. And I keep this little card sitting in my closet on a chest of drawers, and I see it every morning. Just really makes me feel good. I am having another special tea, my ginger turmeric tea. Um, Very nice for this time of year. We're in the fall, and the ginger is very warming, feels very good. The turmeric has immune boosting qualities that I appreciate this time of year. So, another way that I take care of myself. Well, let's talk about some of the barriers to self love. As I said, I think that many of us grow up thinking that self love is somehow selfish, and we don't want to be selfish people. So we kind of try to avoid that thought and just feel like that we shouldn't be doing that. We need to be in service to others. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that my experience over time has been exactly the opposite. The more I withheld from myself, the more that I actually withheld from others. And as I became a little more generous with myself, I found myself becoming more generous with others. So, self love in that way has made me a better person. So, if you have that um, feeling that self love is not a good thing, then sort of let that go. Just let that just roll away and start doing little things for yourself and see if it improves your relationships with other people, improves your ability to be kind and generous with others. Another barrier, I think, to self love is the idea of perfectionism, and that may even be a part of why we feel like that self love is selfish. It's because we want to be good people and we have this perfectionistic idea of how we need to be in the world, and just to let go of that idea that we can ever be perfect. It's helped me to realize that I am a combination of positive and negative characteristics, and that is not only true for me, but that it is true for every single person. We just are. We are never going to be perfect in this world, and the sooner that we can accept that perfection is just not really possible and learn to love ourselves right where we are today, as we are, warts, lumps, and all, then it's easier to love ourselves. And it's also easier for us to forgive others for their little warts and bumps. Um, it doesn't mean that we don't want to work on self improvement. If I have a bad habit, I certainly want to work towards breaking that habit. I can recognize some of the negative qualities in myself, accept them as a part of who I am today, and work towards improving myself. And at the same time, realize that I am never going to be completely perfect and get rid of every single negative quality that I have. So just accepting that about yourself, that little bit of acceptance, that little bit of permission to be perfectly imperfect. So that is another little tip that I hope would be important, that I would like to share from my own experience. I think also a thing that has been helpful to me over time is to develop a list of positive affirmations. Now, I know that there are some people who believe that you can't cover over deeper psychological issues just by having a bunch of positive statements that you say, and that may be true. But what I think really happens over time is that we have a negative kind of critic in our head that says bad things about us. And if we're not careful, that negative voice in our head just repeats bad things about us, things that we don't even really deserve. And so it's just a habitual voice after a while. There may be reasons that it's there from childhood, and that might be worth exploring. But once we get to a certain point in adult life, that just becomes a bad habit. And bad habits can be broken and replaced with a good habit. And it's been a really good thing for me to develop a list of positive self affirmations. At the beginning, I just had a couple. And one thing I found to be really true is that those self affirmations need to be authentically true. And what I mean by that is, let's say that you would like to be a kind person, but maybe you don't feel like you are really a kind person today. So rather than say, I am kind, it might be more true to say, I am learning to be kind, or I am working on being kind. And as time goes along, you may find that you become a kinder person, and then you can kind of update that affirmation now to I am kind. Um, and my list has grown over time. So just start with a few little statements of things that seem to be authentically true, and update it on occasion as you change. Um, and as I said in the beginning, try to acknowledge some of your positive qualities. We tend to dwell on the negative things about ourselves, but if we're honest with ourselves, then we know that there are some good things about us, and to just acknowledge that. Maybe you think you have beautiful hair, or you love the color of your eyes, or maybe you feel like you're a very generous person. To just go ahead and pat yourself on the back and say, I like this about myself. This is a good thing. To go ahead and give yourself that credit, that little pat on the back that says, I'm okay. I'm okay in the world. I have some good qualities, and I acknowledge them, and I'm worth loving. So I do feel that it's been a journey for me to learn to love myself. I feel like I've come a long way over time, and I can say that the biggest couple of benefits, maybe I shouldn't say the biggest one, there are a couple of benefits. One of them is that as I love myself more, I find that I love others more. So it's not true that if I love myself less, that that opens me up to love others more. That's just not true. It's not true at all. We love ourselves more, and we love others more. We accept that we are imperfect, and we're able to accept the imperfections in other people. We do kind things for ourselves, and we find ourselves becoming more generous and doing kind things for others. So, as I wrap this up today, I hope that you'll take a few minutes to think of ways that you can love yourself more. Think of some things that you can do for yourself to show yourself that you love yourself. And if you have ways that you love yourself, I'd like for you to share them in the comments. I'd love to read them and see what they are. I'm sure others who watch this would love that too. So I'm going to finish up by saying I hope you'll watch other videos. I hope you're finding these videos helpful, and I appreciate you. And like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you in future videos, and I hope you have a great day.